Heyo everyone, it's AJ, and today it's Monday. And you know what that means? It's Make Monday! Yeah! And today we have the last chapter of 2022 for Bungo Stray Dogs, and fuck my life, I hate it. Also, it's been a year since I've been doing these chapter reviews properly now, which was very weird to find out. It doesn't feel like a year, but hey ho, here's to many, many, many more years. Yay! So anyway, we are back with chapter 104.5 because obviously we're having these fucking half chapters. And we're continuing on with the backstory of Fukuchi, the bastard that he is, and Fukuzawa. And carrying on from the last discussion in which Fukuchi asked Fukuzawa to basically go to that cursed island where Yusano was being built, abused for her ability. Basically, Fukuchi went into the battlefield and Fukuzawa whacked their microphone. No, they did not. Fuck. So anyway, Fukuchi went to the battlefield. Fukuzawa decided, you know what, I'm still going to make a change even if I'm not with him at the time. So basically, Fukuzawa just goes and took out all the people that were wanting to carry on the war that was going on at the time, all those many moons ago. I say many moons ago, but it was 10 years ago or something like that? Can't mind. But actually it was more than that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, obviously, Fukuzawa taking in matters in his own hands the way that he does things, just basically doing things on his own. Fukuchi, all his men, battlefield, bring chaos. Essentially, that's the best way to put it. And amongst that, we get the flash forward back to Ashley, who is basically hearing this whole backstory and plan and whatnot, but this is the goal of the Decay of Angels. It's basically Teruku explains the whole thing. Obviously we still don't know entirely what is happening, because obviously why should we know? That would ruin any surprise if it's going to happen any point. But anyway, so actually obviously having a fucking mind meld, being wait, the agency has no fucking clue. Just like we don't. We have no fucking clue what's going on in this fucking series right now. We just know there's pain. And rightfully so, Teruku obviously knowing that Fukuchi is a cunt, he's a dick, and actually just opens the door to Ashishi's cell and just goes, hey, by the way, you can run if you want to, up to you. And then Ashishi just goes down on the ground and just tries to think. It's what the fuck do I do? Which is a mood. Literally it's just what can I do? Just literally just collapses there, just hands just going through this and just going what the fuck do I do? I do love the wee panel of him. It sounds very mean to say I love this panel, but the panel of him literally just holding on to his face, and clearly the breakdowns starting to happen as he's taking in this information that Teruku is giving him. And he's also going on, he's all this all these years and all that, and then she's just yep, everything for the last few years has been planned out to a fucking T, essentially. To then we go back over to Fukuzawa and Fukuchi fighting again, and Fukuchi gets a bastard hit on Fukuzawa, which is not fucking cool. This is really the Fukuchi hate club here, right? So we are not saying anything nice about him. And then Fukuchi, just being the dick that he is, phones up. Well, I say phones up. He has a fucking walkie-talkie kind of thing. It's not really a proper ass phone. starts to go and try and contact somebody, but Fukuzawa, like, goes in to try and grab his sword, because his sword's kind of went flying. Obviously, trying to defend himself and trying to, like, obviously take down Fukuchi. And obviously, Fukuchi, being the bastard that he is, uses his little time warping abilities, and the sword just goes zoom right through his fucking hand, doesn't he? And he's like, oh, I'm not going to kill you yet. This needs a little audience. I'm like, oh, you little bastard. Fucking hate you. Like, why are you here? Why are you still around? Why do you have to be the main big bad at this moment in time? Like, the thing is, like, obviously, like, Fyodor, Nikolai, like, all that. Technically bad guys, right? But I don't hate them, right? I fucking love Fyodor. I love him as a villain and everything like that. I just love him. I fucking hate Fukuchi with all my heart. I hate him with an absolute passion. So yeah, so then he starts phoning up like the chairman and whatnot, being like, hey, have you read those documents I sent you of my dastardly evil plan, essentially? And like he's like, so by the way, like obviously I already wrote this down, but I'm going to just re-emphasize it through speech. If you don't fucking remove the like seal on one order, like I'm just gonna like let the world be filled with fucking vampires and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And it's just like, you absolute son of a bitch. And the chairman is like being like fucking delusional, because obviously you think, well, Fukuchi obviously was like a very respectable guy within like the armed forces and whatnot, like being as a army man, soldier, you know, military man. And it's like, oh wait, no, like you're doing this to save the world, right? This is like a world saving thing. And it's just like Fukushi just goes, nah. Fuck you. It's like, mate. So I feel bad for the German, like obviously he's like being like, what the fuck like is going on? And Fukuchi's like, hey, I'm not gonna kill you just yet, I'm just gonna keep you close by, you know. And like the chairman starts to ask him, it's like, hey, what have you actually got planned properly? And Fukuchi just turns off the radio. Just goes, nah, hangs up. Just hangs up on the chairman, just goes, nah bitch, turn off. And goes back to Fukuzawa, and Fukuzawa's like, right, because the whole point in this fight was that because Kunakira and Tarazaki are like hooked up to the fucking death machines, and also Rambo's been knocked out like nobody's business, like he had to guess what the whole reason for this was, and then they would be fine. So Fukuzawa's like, right, I'm gonna fucking guess, right, I know what your goal is, and goes, hey, your goal is revenge, because you're a petty little bitch that got basically a whole fuck ton of PTSD from the war, which is rightfully so, not exactly a nice thing to witness and whatnot, so I'm not going to hold that against him. Obviously, what he saw, like what happened in that war, was fucked up. Like there was literally people like eating each other because they were starving. There was obviously backstabbings, obviously the whole Yusano thing where her ability getting used to like revive like dying soldiers and everything like that, and like people being what, suicidal bombers essentially. So rightfully so, he's traumatized as fuck. But it's just like, oh, you're just a petty little bitch because when you came for me for help and I told you no because I don't work in groups, you're attacking the ADA right now because of me. So it is revenge, like, against me because I betrayed you and all that jazz. You felt that I betrayed you. And Fukushi, being the bastard that he is, just stabs him through the heart and basically goes, you're wrong. I don't know why I started singing that. I think it was just a way for me to cope without trying to get really angry. But yeah, and that's how that chapter ends. The last page, Fukushi just goes, you're wrong, stab me. And I just hate him even more. And I'm just thinking, this came out the day after we had that beautiful, amazing new trailer for season 4. Like, I fucking knew, or should have known, that the trailer was a trap, because obviously I knew the chapter was coming up within like a couple of days or like a day or so afterwards, it was a fucking trap. Because they're like, oh, let's bring out this really nice thing. And it's like, no, fuck you. In the chapter. And the worst part is, like, well, I say the worst part, right? It's like the 10th year anniversary of like the manga like starting serializing, so obviously there's lots of happy messages and be like, oh look, we're celebrating, yay! And fucking Asagiri tweets, right, but he's eating a fucking souffle and it like fills him up and shit, and I'm just like, you have literally just dropped like a fucking like heart-wrenching fucking chapter, and what do you tweet about? Eating a fucking souffle, and you don't even tweet that often. So you made a point to tweet about a fucking souffle. Like, how mean can you be? Like, man. Like, he's kind of cute, like, when he's got like a cake in it and everything, like, Karakawa got him like a wee cake and whatnot of like the very first like cover and whatnot, which is kind of cute. And it's also like, yay, 10 years of Bungo, hey, but why? Oh, but then also on Twitter, like, trying to find the Raws, right? All the people tweeting, like, oh, congrats, Kunakira, on your promotion. And it's like, mate, he's tied up to the death machine. He's gonna die now. Like, if that just turns off, he's instantly dead. So there's no promotion. That is if Fukuzawa is definitely dead, but like, it's not looking good. Like, we have to admit, it's not looking good. There's a sword right through him. Also, my top is very, very like convenient, very sad girls club moment. But oh, this is stressful, this chapter, and I don't know what the fucking new year's gonna bring. And also, probably just realising the first chapter of the new year is also probably round about the same time as the first episode of the new season. So, because it's the 4th, and usually like the chapter kind of comes between like the beginning and like up to the like the 4th. So it's probably gonna come out in the 4th. So we're gonna have the new episode and a new chapter of whatever fucking pain it's gonna be. Fuck me. But, oh, jeez, this chapter, man. Like, see, it came out when I was on the night shift, and then I came out on the bus home, and I got the news. I was like, oh, it's out, by the way. So I was already spoiled for this fucking chapter before I even got a chance to fucking read it. All I saw was, Kurakira, well done, your promotion. So obviously, that triggered in my mind. I was like, great, Fukuzawa lost, or he's dead. And then I kept seeing the panels. Then I saw some edits of it was like, oh look, no, they're just hugging, so something like photoshopped the sword, and it's like, look, they're making up, guys, yay. Like, honestly, the way that the Bungo community just like copes with the pain of these chapters is just perfect. But anyway, let me know your wee thoughts down below. How do you find the chapter? Are you excited for a new year of Bungo? Obviously, with the fucking anime coming out in January, it's gonna be banging. But yeah, let me know your wee thoughts. Are you excited? Do you think Fukuzawa's dead? Or do you think there's a teeny little bit of hope? I'm hoping for that, but who knows? So anyway, until next time, I'm AJ, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!